Hey y'all, thank you for joining me for this random ass reading. It's a Sunday and it's late on a Sunday, and I channeled this message that I actually channeled a couple of days ago, but I'm just getting an opportunity to sit down and do this reading, and I don't want to wait to release it next Sunday. So instead of it being a Soul Food Sundays or a story time, because it's really not a story associated with it, it's just gonna be a random ass reading, right? So I hope this message finds y'all well. If it does not find you well, I hope that it leaves you well. I channeled a theme, right? And based on that theme, I'm going to be doing a reading. You may hear a little popping and bopping in the background. That's because the people still popping fireworks and shooting their guns and whatnot from the 4th of July, child. The 4th of, I know you lying. So I can't help that, but I didn't want to not record the video because they doing the most. So you might hear a little something in the background. Ignore it. And we're going to get into it. So the theme that I channeled the other day was that there are some of us who are involved with people who are cosplaying as assets when they are really liabilities. And these are people who are fashioning themselves intentionally in our lives as supporters, being of benefit to us. They got favors that they do or offer. They have assets or resources that they lend to your cause, whether it be their time or something physical, or some logic, advice, idea. Like, they fashion themselves as a benefit to you, right? But they're cosplaying, they're performing. It's not real, it's not authentic, the motives aren't pure. And for some of us, these are people who, if you ask them to search their heart, they're gonna swear up and down they're coming from a pure, authentic place. But on a deep subconscious level, these are people who have their own agendas and motives that are not healthy for why they show up for you and offer what they offer to your benefit. And for that reason, they are actually a liability. They are actually putting you at risk. One thing for certain and two things for sure. One thing that I've been sitting with, not even like about myself really, but just people in general, is how sometimes people will do kind things, and because they are kind-hearted, they feel like they are due good karma, right? Negating the fact that the kind thing that they did was not from a pure place. They wanted some validation for being a good person or showing up for you or wanting to be in close proximity to you in some way, or just having some kind of ulterior motive. It could be childhood wounded. That's why it's so important that we do inner child healing to make sure that we don't show up for people from a codependent place or from a narcissistic place where we're love bombing, because that's a thing, but that is from a pure Christ-like unconditional place, that we come from unconditional love when we show up for people, because your good deed is going to yield karma if it does not come from a pure place. So we want to be mindful of if we are the ones that are cosplaying as assets and we're really liabilities, or if we have people around us who cosplay as assets, as a benefit to us, as good teammates, as fam or friends or whatever, and or support system of some kind, and you're really a liability. You're really putting me at risk. You really don't mean me well. You really getting on my motherfucking nerves, or you really on some sneaky shit, or you know what I'm saying? Like, we want to be mindful of those things. So because that's the theme that I've been sitting with a little bit, I'm gonna do a reading on it, and I'm gonna start with the tarot. I had to decide what I want to start with. Then I'm going to clarify with the Earth Magic Oracle, I think it's called, and then my index cards. I'm going to close this out with those. So Spirit, what message do you have for the collective? Why you got me down here in these YouTube streets talking to these people about people cosplaying as assets when they're really liabilities? And the liability could be stress, like keeping you uncentered, keeping your nervous system erect. All of that's a liability. That's not to your benefit. Keeping you on edge, walking on eggshells, just not operating in truth and integrity. Somebody is being a liability to you, opposed to an asset adding value to your life, to your experience. A whole bunch of cards fell in my lap, Lord. I don't want to read all this. I'm so debating on putting these back. I am. Lord, please give me fewer cards. That was too much. That was a good 10 cards. Can we decipher this thing without a whole book of cards, please and thank you? Okay, that ain't 10, but it's still a lot. Fuck. I'ma take it. Okay, these fell face down. The fact that the cards fell in my lap at first and fell on the table the second time lets me know that this is something y'all are currently facing. This is in your lap. It is in your face. You may be ignoring it, and that's why these cards fell face down, or it may be in your blind spot, but it's there. This is something that is not present in your life, right? So we got the 10 of Wands, a burden. What did I tell you? A liability. This is somebody carrying way more than their share of the burden in a situation, or just because it ain't gotta be something physical. It could be energetically carrying the burden of something. But as you can see, this man here is holding these wands and his back is hunched over because baby, he's tired. He is exhausted. Whatever operation he got going on, he is carrying more than he really can bear. He could drop these wands at any moment at this point. So that's the 10 of Wands energy. And then you have strength. The burden is that you're holding back. Something that you're holding on to, trying to remain calm and cool, calm, and collected, so to speak, and not revealing how you really feel about something, is a burden, with the strength card coupled with the 10 of Wands. Also, we want to keep in mind that we are approaching the 8/8 portal on August 8th. And the 8/8 portal occurs every year during Leo season. As you can see in this strength card, you got a lion here, and the Empress is taming the beast within this lion. In this energy, that wild lion energy is like putty in the Empress's hand. He's way more, he's like a house cat when it comes to her. You know what I'm saying? So that may be for some of you that feminine part of yourself or some feminine energy around you that tames the beast within you, so to speak, whether that beast is your anxiety, your fears, your temper, whatever the case, or just helps you to keep things together when you want to fucking explode, or helps you carry whatever this burdensome load is. But there's a load, a burden being carried, and there's something being held in or held back with the strength card. And with Lionsgate coming up, that being a portal of a significant portal of manifestation, I would not be surprised, and you all should not be either, if whatever has been held onto or held back, this burden is released by way of that energy that is coming forward from the AA portal. Then you got the Five of Cups. The thing that's being held back, the emotion, is resentment, regret, shame, guilt. Somebody is regretting some burden that they took on, but they're not vocalizing it. With the Five of Cups, he's staring at these 3 cups that have spilled over. And it can be an energy of dwelling on something that has occurred in the past, or some decision that was made in the past. But if he would stop dwelling on those spilled cups, the spilled milk, so to speak, and turn around and move toward the future, before he can even take 1 foot forward, there's 2 cups still standing. There's love still there in a situation, but this person is holding on to the burden and regret of something. Then you got the Knight of Wands, wanting to move forward passionately, free spirit, in a free-spirited nature, courageously toward something after no longer dwelling on this spilled milk or whatever happened in the past, and being more flexible. And that's possibly part of the regret. Somebody's bound by something. And with this Knight of Wands energy, that's far more free and fiery. And where they may have been rigid and focused on trying to hold on to all of these wands and carrying this burden, they're now a bit more flexible in juggling these two coins. The Two of Pentacles is also like, you know, Pentacles is like your 3D reality. That's your material environment, so to speak. So like being willing to balance and juggle different aspects of your life. So like, let's say if you want to date, but you also gotta work, you know what I'm saying? Juggling the two and doing what is, being willing to do what is required from both as best you can to keep them both afloat, to keep them both going. Or let's just say like you got a family, but then you got this hobby or passion that you like to invest in, scheduling it or handling it in a way to where, okay, let's just take going to the gym, for instance. You know what I'm saying? I got family obligations, but I also want to go to the gym. So in order to juggle both of them, some days I might be able to go to the gym at 5 in the morning. Other days, because of the way my family schedule is set up, I'm probably going to have to go at 5 in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? But being willing to be flexible and do what it takes to make something work. That is also Two of Pentacles energy, which I would rather have to do this juggling and be flexible and adaptable to the situation than be burdened with this 10 of Wands. This shit that's stressing me out and wearing me out, got my knees buckling and my back bent. You know what I'm saying? Then you have the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is feeling left out in the cold. So this is somebody this looks like a desire or a will to be free, more adaptable and flexible, but feeling like being in lack consciousness, not seeing the bigger picture or being hopeful about things working out, and instead being like pessimistic. You got these two individuals who standing outside of a church and the light is on. All they got to do is take their ass in, but instead they outside in the snow suffering. So this is very much it's a choosing to suffer. But with the Two of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles combined, that gives you the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is that energy we've been talking about the last couple of readings that I've done. Soul Food Sundays, I think the leftovers, where I was talking about casting your pearls before swine. So this is taking an assessment. Taking an assessment, seeing where you've been investing your time and energy, and determining what's been an asset and what's been cosplaying as an asset and really is a liability, where you have come up short, and what would be more of benefit. And whatever it is that's more of benefit, it feels more freeing with the Knight of Wands. It's something that you're passionate about, and that there is some level of resentment or regret or guilt and shame involved in that situation. And part of the burden that you've been carrying, or this person has been carrying, take it how I resonate, is that they've been holding back and holding in all of this regret and resentment about a past action or decision that they've made. At the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Pentacles, a brand new reality. This is somebody who wants to make a profitable offer and ground something. No longer in their head, sulking, no longer daydreaming and plotting, planning, and thinking, and wanting to actually make a profitable offer. This being a pentacle, I gotta add it to the Two of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. Now that we got this Ace of Pentacles, this is somebody that's willing to put in work. That's the offer. This is because the Eight of Pentacles is like mastery. That is the image of the Eight of Pentacles is a guy sitting and mastering how to create these pentacles. And he's already created 5, or was it 6? And then it's like 2 more in front of him, something like that. But yeah, that's mastery, that's focus. So this is someone wanting to give their focus. They're offering their a certain sense of commitment and consistency to something. When they lay them burdens down, when they get rid of that liability that is cosplaying as an asset. This is somebody who wants to be an asset. You literally got the hand of the divine reaching out, handing something to an individual, and you got a gateway here. This is somebody who wants to be an asset after having carried the burden of fumbling the ball, spilling the milk, possibly even taking for granted these 2 cups that were standing there all along right behind him, because he was too busy focused on the 3 cups that were spilled, and ain't shit he could do about it but change his focus. And now that the focus is changed, the focus is on being an asset. This is someone who wants to come in out of the cold, from feeling left out some kind of way, and they are willing to be more flexible and adaptable to make whatever this is work. At the top of the deck, you have the Two of Wands. Yep. The Two of Wands represents partnership, being focused on the future. This individual has the world in his hand and is looking out like, the world is my oyster. Where do I want to go? What I want to do with this energy that I have now, this vitality, this creativity. Wands also represents sexual energy, and he got two of them. This is partnership energy. Who do I want to partner with? What do I want to partner with them to do? For some of you, this may include relocating. It may include expansion in your life in some kind of way. But this individual who wants to be an asset is focused on the future. They are planning. They may not be actively planning, even though the Two of Wands is action as well, but they definitely mapping some stuff out within their mind. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So what that tells me is this is somebody who, because they've been in a situation where somebody has been cosplaying as an asset and they found that that person is a liability. It could be somebody who they were cosplaying as an asset and they have had to confront that they have been a liability and now they want to really be an asset. But with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, they don't want to go at this shit alone. They don't want to be single. The Nine of Pentacles is very sovereign. This is somebody who sets the bar, raises the standard, and is very like attractive. They focus on attracting opposed to chasing or pursuing. This is someone who wants to pursue because they're planning the future. They're looking at how they want their future to plan out and who they want their future to pan out with. So they don't want to be in the Nine of Pentacles energy anymore. They want to partner in some way. I'm gonna clarify this with the energy oracle deck. Whoever this is, and this just fell on Ten of Wands, Strength, and the Five of Cups. This card fell on top of vulnerability. This is what all that they've been holding back. They regret not being more vulnerable in this situation, repressing their emotions. This is somebody who feel like they should have said something vulnerable, honest, truthful, and to the heart of the matter in this situation a long time ago. There's some regret and some resentment about not being more vulnerable. That's why Meadow fell on top of this card. I'm looking at this picture because I don't think I ever noticed how there are what looks like sunflowers in this card. And y'all know them sunflowers represent Oshun. Metafetafun, Oshun, Ibaye. So that energy may be significant. And you also have what looks like lavender. It's a very calming energy. Again, this card fell on top of the Strength card. I told you the Strength card is like the energy of the Empress calming the lion within an individual, which can very much be an asset in terms of having assets and individuals you're in relationship with. But those things, that peace, that vibrancy, that love, that honey dripping sweet love that Ocean's energy represents, as well as the calm and intuitiveness of lavender, may be a factor as well. At the top of the deck, you have wind activation. Somebody's been activated. Whatever's been going on in their life they flipped the switch. They've been turned on. They're ready. They've been activated, and this is very possible. You know, this is air energy, so this may be significant to my air signs or those of you who have significant air placement. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius may be significant or resonate with this message, but also Air represents thoughts and communication. So there may be a lot of thinking. Again, like I said, with this 2 of Wands energy, there may be a lot of thoughts and planning taking place, but also communication, conversations being had, things being communicated about this realization of an asset actually being a liability and or the desire to be an asset. At the bottom of the deck, you got purification. This is an emotional cleanse for someone. This is taking somebody to another level emotionally. So I'm even hearing emotional maturity taking place where somebody's confronting the things that have stunted their growth emotionally, and it purging them. It's cleansing and purifying them. So there is a cleansing taking place. So we got activation and we got purification, which is all about cleansing and healing emotionally. And when that takes place, I can see why this 9 of Pentacles in reverse energy would come out, because when you feel safe to love, when you feel safe to connect, to partner, as this 2 of Wands energy symbolizes, it's typically when you've done some emotional healing. And you know that you've healed most or all of the things that made you a liability or a danger in love relationships. You're more open to receiving love. So this is definitely someone expanding their capacity to give and receive love. This is dope as fuck. This serious gateway ain't playing. I'm gonna close us out because I'm ready to go to bed with my index cards. See what message wants to come forward. Spirit, what message do you have for the collective as it relates to, oh shit, this reader? So I can see that the card that fell on the ground is one of the root chakra cards, and it's stability. This is someone who wants more stability in their life. They no longer want to walk around with all this shit that they're carrying. They don't no longer want to walk around with back issues and bent over and all kinds of ailments internally and externally because of what they're carrying. And some of what they've been carrying has been emotions that they haven't expressed, as well as like conversations that haven't been needing to have been had for a long time. Some of this shit is shit that this person has been thinking and feeling and just have never vocalized to anybody. And for some of you, the getting it out, it ain't even been to a person. It's been journaling. It's been writing. It's been painting. Like somebody's channeling what's been internal and giving it a safe place to land externally. That's therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's coming out as poetry, a painting, some kind of creation, a piece of jewelry, there's energy being transmuted with this activation and purification that has been taking place because someone has a desire and a newfound value for stability. This is someone who didn't even know that the life that they was living was unstable. But you got root chakra, stability. Balance is essential to your nervous system and emotional health. I can't make this shit up, y'all. Somebody, like, by way of realizing that someone has been cosplaying as an asset when they really are a liability, is realizing or has realized the effect that this this person who's been parading as an asset, the number that they've done on their nervous system. You didn't, like, some karmic energy that got on their motherfucking nerves. And it's like, it's got to be better than this. I deserve better than this. How about I just stop feeding into this? Because now I'm seeing the effect that this has on my nervous system and my emotional health. The two cards that fell on the table is because of you. I believe in love. I told y'all. Somebody is ready to get out of that Nine of Pentacles energy. They don't want to be single. They don't want to do it alone. You know what I'm saying? They want stability, and they want to build and maintain and sustain stability in partnership. So because of you, I believe in love. This is that Empress energy that we talked about, where that Empress tames the lion's fears or illusions or delusions. Just tames that beast within that otherwise would ultimately affect negatively the lion's stability. You are my muse. I love this. Somebody is inspired. And they're not leaving it there. Because inspiration is one thing. You know, inspiration is that spark, right? But it's what you do with the spark that really, like, the spark counts. There's value in getting the spark. But now that you're inspired, what are you going to do with the inspiration? This is somebody doing something profound and transformative with what they've been inspired to do emotionally, how they've been inspired to show up emotionally. At the top of the deck is throat chakra. I told you somebody been needing to get it popping, say what they need to say. Living a life that serves the needs of others to the detriment of one's own, and needing to learn how to liberate one's voice and spirit. That being at the top of the deck, that's exactly what's going on. With wind activation, I knew there was some throat chakra energy present here in this reading. So this is someone who once lived their life to serve other people's needs instead of their own. They put other people's validation above what felt right to them, what they knew in their heart and soul to be right for them. And if that meant not speaking up or out about certain things, they didn't. Or even if they did, if they got pushback on it, they left it alone so as to not feed into conflict and chaos. People pleasing, codependency. But not no more. This throat chakra is activated. At the bottom of the deck, let's start over. So in order to start over, this is somebody, either people who've already met or a past life situation, and somebody's watching somebody from afar, and they're their muse and has inspired significant change in them in terms of their emotional health. But whatever the case, somebody wants a do-over. And in the last Soul Food Sundays, I talked about do-overs and fresh starts. So if you haven't checked out their reading, you definitely want to check that one out. There's actually more cards that are face up, and then there's a card that's face down. So I'm gonna share all the ones that are face down. Oh no, that's it. Why are all of these face down like this? So let's start over is face up. How many of these are face down? I'm not finished sharing them. I'll share the one that's underneath, and then we'll close this out. I'm just being nosy. The truth is worse than you think. Whatever has been going on behind the scenes of this situation, like, if you have some inkling that there's something transpiring, the truth, how the details are playing out or have played out, it's worse than you even think it was. It's more dramatic than you think it was. And then you got, I said I wasn't gonna read all of them, but look at me. Karma, and it's face down, and it's in reverse as well. I am reaping the karma of the way I treated you. That's face down, so it's something that's not to somebody's awareness, that somebody has reaped the karma of how they treated them, which is why they were in this 5 of Cups energy of regret and guilt and shame. But whatever the karma was, it was worse than you think. Now, it being in reverse, it's probably over. The karmic cycle is probably over, and that's why you got that Ace of Pentacles, because that's a new cycle. So things are getting better for all parties involved, except for possibly the person who was faking as a asset and turned out to be a liability. Like, they probably got plenty more karma to live out as a result of their motives not being pure. But that karma card being in reverse is probably the end of a karmic cycle for whoever has come to this realization and had this activation and purification process. You also have please be patient with me. This being in reverse, whoever resonates with this, you've already been patient. That's already taken place. That's how you became the muse, because this is something that that individual admires in whoever has served as a muse or the empress that tames the lion in the situation. Then you got proud, and it's face down in reverse as well. I am always bragging on your talents and accomplishments. I ain't gonna lie, like I know why that would be in reverse. Maybe that's a past energy where this individual has in the past bragged on your talents and accomplishments again. Or even if it's not you, whoever is the muse. At some point, this individual has bragged on the muse's assets, whatever the muse brings to the table. But I love to see that whoever this resonates with is getting more comfortable with being vulnerability, seeing the value. Comfortable with being vulnerable. I need to take my ass to sleep. And seeing the value in vulnerability and authenticity. But yeah, y'all, I hope the message found you well. If it didn't find you well, I hope that it leaves you well. I hope that you are more mindful of those cosplaying as assets when they really are liabilities. I wish you well. If you are needing a personal reading, feel free to email me at turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. You can also book if you're looking for like a service that I'm doing online via Etsy, my Etsy store, and that's everything, y'all. Oh, be on the lookout for an 8/8 portal event that I am planning. Once I get the details together, I will be announcing that soon. I'm planning something very special and in person. So again, keep your eyes peeled for that. Till next time, y'all. Peace.